You good?
I think they have some kind of drink like that in Russia, don't they? You gonna try
Not
it?
not that I've ever heard of. I didn't know. It's just the only two liquids I have in my fridge right now.
Sounds like only way to one find. Oh,
It ain't bad.
all right. New invention on
It's not good though. It's just
plus
not bad.
money for the Thursday. The Thursday bets get you a milk and vodka in.
Get your little milk and vodka. If you want the Jets to win, get a milk and vodka right now.
Sometimes you just got to change the formula. You got to switch things up. Try a little milk and vodka. Little
Oh yeah, we endorse that here.
milk before the cereal, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, back again, week 14.
We love it.
Not a bad week, if I do say so myself. These matchups are pristine. Prime time are golden. We actually have great slate in the afternoon, the 4 o'clock window, the 1 o'clock window, the Sunday night game. Ooh, what are you thinking about this one, P? How you feel about this week? I am pumped.
I like this week. I love this week. I'm almost as excited as you, except I haven't gone through the whole week yet. So some of these are gonna catch me off guard. I've been lacking a tad, but I can tell you one thing. I don't care what team is lined up against the Jets. They're coming out with a W.
Jets.
Jets.
All right, Jets taking on the Texans. We'll have the
Oh
crazy weather
shit.
report out there.
Rowdy.
I know your other big dog, but
I
tonight
know, right?
we got one of the lowest totals in the past decade from the NFL coming at you 30 points. We got the Iowa Hawkeye Patriots coming up to the NFL playing the Pitt University Steelers here. I mean, under 30, the spread has already went from 5.5. It's up to 6 now in the Steelers. I mean, I can see the Steelers covering like a 10 spot here. What do you think?
Yeah, I could see 10 spot. The offense of the Patriots just can't win. And I was wrong on last Thursday night. The Seahawks played a hell of a game against the Cowboys. We both missed that spread pick, but I'm
Yeah,
confident in the Steelers here. They've got offensive weapons, and the Patriots just can't score the ball. I mean, to cover 10, realistically, all the Steelers would need to do is score 10.
touch. Yeah,
Like,
that's exactly what I
like it
think.
doesn't require much from an offense that's semi-capable. I mean, I think Mitch will be able to get the ball to the playmakers. So
Yeah, he's serviceable as a backup. I think he's
absolutely,
not, if we're talking like QB drop off situations here with another shot of vodka milk, Kenny Pickett to Mitch Trubisky's not like a Trevor Lawrence to CJ
mm-mm.
Beathard situation. I'll throw up
No,
our graphic here again. One that I was liking because the Patriots defense is solid. And I think, like you said, it could be a 10-0, 15 fucking 3, something weird. Race to 20 points, neither team at plus
that.
105.
Well, I'd take that.
Absolutely love that. I kind of like the either team to score 3 unanswered, but kind of worried that the Steelers just score 3 and the Patriots don't score any. And then we got a small same game parlay over 2.5 receptions. Pat Fryermuth looking for Mitch to use the tight end and under on Zappy's passing yards. Short week Thursday night. You know, he's not that good anyway. If it was Mac Jones, I'd be taking the under either way. Not looking too hot on the Patriots at all. But yeah, I think number one
Yeah,
play is just that race to 20 points. I don't think we're going to see 20 points here. I mean, the over under's 30.
yeah.
So unless the Patriot or the Steelers go like 21-0, but
Right. Yeah. No, I'm with you there. That we can agree on for sure.
then going back to the game the Patriots just played, they held the Chargers offense, who can be explosive to 6 points. So
6. Yeah. What
I
a
don't
weird day.
think they're going to have trouble with the Steelers. All right, moving on from there, huh? The Lions, who bounced back big last
Lions.
week. We had that one on the first half. Was that game went almost exactly how we thought. Lions first half to continue on the form they had came out,
Mm-hmm.
covered the shit out of that. I liked Laporta's yards TD that went in, and then they played the Saints, right? The Saints started coming back, and the game kind of went how we expected. It got close there at the end with the spread. Uh, this one outside in Chicago. Can I get a live weather report from
Live
Respondent P?
live weather report says we're gonna have about 20 miles an hour of wind gusting through the field on kickoff. You're gonna want to make sure you get your money in on that under because it's gonna be below 6.
All
Maybe
right,
not.
so over under 43, them coming outside, not good defenses really.
Yeah.
I these teams tend to lean over on this one. My favorite play is Justin Fields over on his longest rush, 16 and a half yards. I mean, that guy's definitely going to squirt out there for 20 at least once. A 20 yard for Fields is like a 10-yard run. So that's my favorite bet here. I kind of liked the Bears on the points just cuz Goff is kind of
Outside.
bad outside, like you said. The weather's
Hmm.
not that great. It's gonna be cold, and it's a divisional game.
It is,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, they were close the first time they played. It
yeah,
makes me wonder if it was just a little bump in the road for the Lions, as they kind of seemed like that's what's happened. I don't know if their forms returned or not. I genuinely think this is a big game for the Lions. Not as in I don't think they can win it, but they need to figure out where they're at in the NFC in general. I think they'll win the North, but I definitely think that they need to figure out if they're a number one seed kind of team, or if they're just gonna make the playoffs and kind of be, a division winner but not really prominent. And then to give you an actual forecast of the weather on this one, it looks like we be at low winds. It'll be cold though. It's gonna be around 30, 35, 36 degrees, so it'll be cold for golf and the boys outside. 13-mile-an-hour winds for the Chicago game.
all right, 13 and a half, 3.5 point spread. Bears underdog
Mhm.
at home. Divisional dogs at home are always a pretty good spot. I do like little David Montgomery. I can't ever say his name right. Little David
Yeah.
Montgomery, extra M in there. I like his revenge touchdown. And since it's going to be cold, them keeping the ball on the ground, they're always pounding him anyway. Gibbs be
Oh,
doing
I'd
all
love to do that.
the Gibbs do all the work, and then Montgomery to finish it off.
Yeah, finish him
And
off.
then I did like the over before I looked at the weather. I'd probably stay away from the total at this point. Okay, one of the next two really are kind of on the downside of the slate. Panthers versus Saints in New Orleans. Panthers are just absolutely terrible. They didn't.
Right.
They almost snuck one out against the Bucks on their coach fired game, but Bucks are also terrible, which I got some more to say on them. The next one, I'm leaning Saints here -5 all day.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. You can't put money on the Panthers right now. Losing this game by a touchdown is just too much of a possibility. Obviously, it's gambling, so anything can happen. Fuck, the Panthers could win. It is a divisional game at the end of the day, but um, yeah, your money's safe on New Orleans covering this one by a touchdown. So I'd like that.
Yeah,
Are
like
bad. I love that. They are bad.
I believe the first time these teams played, it was already in Carolina. I had Saints -3, and the Panthers had some weird backdoor cover situation. So I'd look for New Orleans to just cover the -5.
Yeah.
Jimmy Graham, though, I want to talk about Jimmy Graham. He has 2 touchdowns or 2 catches for 2 touchdowns this year. And against this bad Panthers team at home, he's sitting at +2,000. He just got one last week. I'm looking for, a little small unit. Throw a little
That's
fiver out
interesting.
there on
Little
Jimmy G.
Fiverr.
Little Jimmy G +2,000. He's at the very bottom on anytime touchdown scores. But other than that, I really like the Alvin Kamara parlay in there.
The original
Over
Jimmy G.
the original Jimmy G.
Yeah.
That man, I can remember when him and Gronk came on the scenes and were just fantasy wreckers back in.
Tearing it up, man.
That was my only undefeated fantasy team I ever ran. Was a 2 tight end squad with Gronkowski and Jimmy Graham in their primes.
Jesus. That's scary to think about.
All right, what can you tell us about the Buccaneers at your Falcons?
Man, to be honest, this is a tough one. B divisional matchup. This game was super close the last time these two teams played, and it was low scoring. I do remember that, but I also remember the Falcons gave away 2 touchdowns. We had one moment where Ritter could have ran the ball in, and he kind of slowed up running as he was about to cross the goal line. They knocked the ball out of his hand. He fumbles out of the back of the end zone. Touchdown wiped off. Obviously, it's just a touchback, and no points are scored. And then they had another one where they fumbled near the goal line, and it got recovered by Tampa Bay. So if you look at those 2 turnovers and think, Atlanta cleans that stuff up, I would favor them by a touchdown easily in this game. But Tampa Bay's offense is also really good. So it's going to be a close game, but give me the Atlanta 1.5. I think Atlanta at home, they're a very good home team. I think that they're going to get the job done. I think they're going to be able to put the ball down on the ground with Algier and with Bijan and Ritter. As long as he stays mistake free, they'll get this thing done and they'll win by at least a field goal.
Yeah, I agree on that. This is a game. My number one pick on the graphic, as you can see, is pick another game because the slate is amazing, full of a bunch of good bets. And if you've got to bet the Falcons and the Bucks, though, like you said, back the home team.
Yep.
The run defense on the Bucks is atrocious, and they're going to have two of their starting linebackers out. Bijan, loving his over 67.5 rush. You could probably get this alt spread at like 70. And then if you trust to 80 yards, but you could probably get alt 70. I mean, three
he's
more
gonna
yards
break a 60-yarder in touchdown, so you might as well just take the 80.
Yeah, and they're easy play. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
they don't
here,
pass.
here.
The Falcons lead the NFL in rush attempts per game, I'm pretty sure. So if there was ever, to back somebody on 80 yards strictly for volume, it'll be the Falcons and Bijan Robinson. Okay, baby, off of the Falcons and the Bucks to my team. And dude, I'm like the biggest Ravens hater fan this year, I think. I just the defense is so damn good and they run the ball great, but I'm always sus on Lamar. But this is a OBJ revenge game. Ravens have been playing great at home all year. 7.5 point spread. Mark Andrews is out, and they've been using Odell a lot. And his total's only at 34.5. I think go over on Odell Beckham's 34.5. And then also Isaiah Likely stepping into the role for Mark Andrews. He's been very good. Had a great week last week or 2 weeks ago before the bye. I like his over 34.5. Keaton Mitchell, that stud running back coming on, quick as hell. Look for him 50+ rush yards. Ravens #1 rushing attack in the league right now. This guy's got the speed to get it done on the outside. 50 yards at +100. Great value there. What are you thinking in the Rams or Ravens? I could see either way. Like Rams could cover the 7.5, maybe with like a field goal lead, or I don't know. I think Ravens win the game at home outright.
Mm-hmm. I would have the Ravens winning. If I'm making a spread pick, though, I'm taking those 7.5 points you're giving me for the Rams. They're a capable team, and they've had their bad weeks, their good weeks, whatnot. But I'm a Matthew Stafford backer and a believer. I back him big time. Kind of was behind him at the beginning of the season when a lot of people were not. And now he's got Puka Nacua and he's got Cooper Kupp. I think they can put points up. I think they'll keep up, but I do think they'll lose the game. But yeah, give me that +7.5 for Rams, though. I'd land on that side of things.
Yeah, I like that. Odd Shark thinks 10 points here, but it's never
Mm-hmm.
that accurate. And
Yeah.
I think the Ravens have tended to get worse in the second half throughout the season. The
Okay.
Rams kind of follow the same trend, but even if they fall behind, the Rams aren't gonna just quit going for it. And they have the players, like even if they say we're down behind 14 or 17, something like that, with
Yeah.
little time left, like I think they might get those garbage time touchdowns to cover,
Right.
like backdoor this. So I like a 7.5 a lot, even though the Ravens have been covering kind of bigger spreads. But
Yeah. Last thing I'll say on this game too is my biggest issue with the Ravens. I've seen them blow teams out this season. I've seen them lose to rookie Anthony Richardson and the Colts at home. So it's kind
yeah,
of one of those things where it's like I've seen them at their worst, and so I know that they can come out and they can lay an egg. But I still think they'll get the job done. I mean, and then they could certainly blow them out, but I would lean towards them winning by a touchdown or less.
other than that, I kind of like the over on the first half of this game. It's set just below 3 touchdowns at 20.5. Ravens
Okay.
start hot and they usually get down the field quick. Rams are an explosive team and gets down the field quick. If you
Hmm.
followed my favorite bet of last week, Rams to have the longest touchdown, Stafford hit Puka Nakua for a 70-yard
Jesus, that
fucking.
hit.
Oh, that hit, baby. All Flacco could do. I was actually somewhat nervous. Flacco hit a 24-yard pass. And then, but
Okay.
2 to 3 drives later, Stafford hits Puka for 70 yards on a nice little slant and just
You know
fucking
you're
take
good
off.
from
And
there.
at that point, Browns, yeah, they weren't gonna get a 30-yard. You could think Flacco, gets like a 50-yard defensive pass interference, but
Yeah.
he wasn't gonna throw a 70-yard tutty. Yeah, Rams Ravens though. I'm another great game in the slate.
Oh, I
Uh,
like this one for sure.
Colts Bengals. Tell us a little
Yep.
about that one.
This one for me is a hammer of the Colts. I can't get behind a team that hasn't looked good all season with their starting quarterback, who now is going to their backup, and I can't name him. And maybe I should be able to name him because he could be somebody I know or somebody that's decent. But I just can't get behind a guy who hasn't played with the number one team for all season, and now he's got 1 week to figure things out completely and be ready to start. Colts have been playing good too, and they've been keeping games close. I mean, we were back in Titans last week, who lost in overtime to these Colts, so a little momentum is on their side, you could say. And Alec Pierce is finally starting to come out of his shell as well as a wide receiver who they've been kind of waiting on to step up. So with Pierce and Pittman, they've got good running backs as well, and they've got a decent defense that they can stand behind. So I'm all about the Colts this week. Give me +2. Give me the money line, honestly.
Riding up on that pony, huh?
Yeah, I'm
And
riding that pony.
strolling into Cincinnati.
Hell
Not a
yeah,
long
get it
trip
done.
there, really. I wonder
No,
if
just outside. That's the biggest factor between it being a away game for the Colts.
yeah, I wonder how many Colts fans will travel there or how because the Bengals were bad for a long time during those Peyton Manning years. So
Yep.
I wonder if there's any like influx of like Colts fans in that area. I'm be interested to just check the stadium out.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of, just a non-factor, but it's something I'm like personally
Hmm.
interested in.
They travel well. Yeah, I wonder.
Um, this is another one though. I just called it better games to bet because I know you like the Colts, but
Hmm.
it's just you don't know what you're getting. Kind of. I mean,
You
you got
don't.
you got Gardner who he seems to have honestly taken a step this year in his
Yeah.
career trajectory as just like a really good backup. He used to have those
Correct.
games like we always talked about. He has three
Yeah.
good games and then he
Yep.
does the Ryan Fitzpatrick, right? He's just woo off the hill.
Yep.
But no,
Can't get it done anymore.
not this year. I don't know if it's just his team around him. Those wide receivers are coming out. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
very good.
Pierce has stepped out of his shell a bit this season, for sure.
I called this
Um,
the Zach Moss and Joe Mixon type of day. They're both almost minus 200 for touchdowns. If you
Jesus.
combine both of them, you get plus 140. I'm usually not big on touchdowns, but we've been on a pretty
Yeah.
decent run, and both those guys. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's out, Zach Moss, and
They
Joe
can get it done.
Mixon. Dude, I had to look up his weight after I watched him bully the Jacksonville defensive line on Monday night. I never saw one play where Joe Mixon didn't get at least a like yard push. I mean, 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, he was through there. That man is 220 pounds, weighing like
Yeah,
and
he's a big boy.
short and thick. I mean, he's up there with the backers. So just Joe Mixon appreciation rant, I guess. But I like that little touchdown play. Colts on the road could get it done. like I said, just don't know what you're gonna get with that Cincy quarterback either.
True.
All right,
Could
tell
look
me
good.
JAGS versus
I mean,
the
you know what I'm gonna say.
Browns.
JAGS, 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 Jags. Give me Jags +3. Give me Jags plus 140. It don't matter, man. The Jags are gonna beat the Cleveland Browns on Sunday at noon Central Standard Time, and you can. That's a P guarantee for you. Get your money in on the Jags. I don't care who's starting at quarterback. I don't care if we got high school players on that team. When you put that Jaguar green and black on, you are the greatest football player in America, and I don't care what anybody says.
It just comes
How
out
about that?
different.
It just does. They're
That's
just better.
it is funny because I just saw this random stat too about speaking of just Jags players. You remember Justin Blackman, like receiver out of Oklahoma State way back in the day?
Yep.
It's like
Yep.
I saw that man had a 220 yard game when he played for the Jag. He only played like 20 career
I'm telling
games.
you.
One of them
Something
was
about the
for
Jags, man.
220 yards, dude.
It's
Before
in the
he,
water down there in Jacksonville. And we're gonna go up to Cleveland and we're gonna stomp some boys down on the ground. That's what we're gonna do.
Trevor Lawrence was back at practice though. He looked kind of
Play
all
on one
right
leg.
pushing off though. Like if he get to sit in the pocket and throw, I would think the Jags can win.
He could just roll around the pocket in a wheelchair. He'd still win.
Anything would be better than the CJ Beathard, really.
That is true.
Spread's gonna flip depending on the QB situation. I kind of like the Brown. Well, after P's rant, dude, fuck the Browns.
Yeah.
Browns gonna lose this shit no matter what. Jags plus 3.5, even if they're hurt. Shit, that might hit. Browns
Yeah, if you can get
offense
three
ain't
and a
that
half on
good.
Jags, I really do like that. Genuinely, the Browns' offense is just shit. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
don't know how they're gonna score, and the Jags have weapons. I know ETN was banged up. I'd have to look and see the report on him, but I mean they've still got Ridley. Christian Kirk is out. Yeah, I don't know. They are pretty banged
Oh
up now.
yeah,
Honestly,
he's gonna be out for a while as well.
yeah, yeah. I mean it's tougher when I start to really break down the injuries, but I still think I'd land on the Jags side of things. I just can't get behind this Browns team. For me, it's a no bet or it's a Jags bet.
Yeah, the only thing
There's
I'd
no
be
money being put on the
worried
Browns.
is no matter what, the Browns pass rush gets home a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can't like run around that, or if say Lawrence is in there and he just can't move at all and they get home on him,
Mm-hmm.
that'll be tough. Because the Jags left tackle was I don't know if he's injured. I haven't checked that part of the injury report. But last game, he's the guy who stepped on Lawrence, and then he
Oh,
also went out for the game. So if he's banged up too, Myles Garrett might have a field day. Yeah, I don't know. Not my favorite bet. It's early Thursday. We got to see how those injury reports shape out.
yeah. I don't see looking on OddsShark. I don't see Travis Etienne or yeah Etienne. I don't even know his first name. What is his first name?
Travis, yeah.
Okay, why did that sound weird?
He's got a brother in Florida too, and there
That's
it's
right.
similar.
Gotcha. But yeah, Etienne's not listed. Funny enough, Beathard's actually listed with a shoulder.
Huh.
So, he's questionable. But yeah, Christian Kirk is out. Trevor Lawrence just is questionable. But yeah, if Etienne's in, I like that because Trevor can give dump offs, doesn't have to sit in the pocket. You know, he can trust in Etienne to get the job done, get some yards, bail him out a little bit.
Yeah, I agree there.
Mari Cooper left last game with a concussion, so that's interesting.
Yeah,
Not that they're gonna have a quarterback to throw to him.
I would be big on David
shit.
Njoku in this situation.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Marquise Goodwin also left with a concussion. So 2 wide receivers questionable with concussions.
No wonder the
and
under sitting
They're
at
the
30.
main targets. So yeah, it would have to be. You're right. With 2 wide receivers, you're gonna be looking at the tight end for certain. Interesting. That one's an
Big
interesting
Njoku
injury
do.
game.
Yeah, I mean, definitely if yeah, just everywhere.
Yeah, like big names.
That might
too.
just be sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It could be.
Now, there's some interesting weather I'm hearing reported out in the Meadowlands of New York / New Jersey.
Really.
Live on the field, I hear, is correspondent P. Now, I'm hearing
wind coming in.
it's going to be pretty windy Sunday out there. Can you confirm?
Yeah, we're looking at the live weather report for the New York Jets versus the Houston Texans football match, and we're going to be getting 21-mile-an-hour gusts with about 58 degrees temperature. It is going to be 85% chance of precipitation. This is going to be a slop fest, McFuck fest type of game. If you don't have under 2.5 points in this game, what are you doing with your investments? That's all.
All
Back to you.
the unders.
Give me 0. This is a 0-0 tie. You can put your life savings on it.
20. Who's gonna get the first safety?
There you go.
The best play,
Fumbles, total fumbles over 3.
and I'm
4,
gonna rip
5
this
maybe.
straight off covers.com because the best play was under 18.5 for the first half,
Oh,
but
that's fucking money.
it's moved down because it was such a good play. It's already
Everybody's
down to
favorite.
16.5. But I will still, because 2 touchdowns, a field goal blows this. But I'm willing to back under 16.5 at plus money. Maybe the Jets don't score any touchdowns. And this is a battle of, also race to 20 points, neither plus 145. Love this. Total set at 33.5. That Jets defense is about to set my next point. It's going to be a very tough battle between CJ Stroud, hardest defense he's had to face yet, and the Jets defense does not, give up many points to anybody. And on the other side, it's just that Jets offense is terrible. They're going to have a hard time scoring points. The Texans defense isn't nothing to sleep on either. They got a good secondary. No slouch. Led by, D'Amico Ryans, that boy, possible coach of the year. Dark horse, Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith actually jumped in a time machine and went back as a clone, and now he's D'Amico Ryans.
Yep. That's what I heard too. Those are the reports coming out of Canton.
Especially, he's a defensive guy too, so I swear I have this as like guys from Illinois. I'm not even a Bears fan, but I have this like deep down like hope that the Bears would ever hire Lovie Smith again.
Dude, bring him back, man. He made the playoffs and got
He went
fired.
11-5 and some got fired, dude.
He made the playoffs and got fired. Bring him back.
Hey, come on.
Holy shit. We are the worst franchise, man. Those are my Bears, man. What can I say? Shit. That's why I'm a Jets fan and a Jags fan and a Texans fan. Secretly.
Okay, but in this Jets-Texans game, like we said, it's going to be windy. It's going to be under. You could... I mean, Stroud's been great. This is just going to tell us a lot about him versus a great defense. Because you could almost convince me that the Jets could win this game. I think they'll be a little better on offense with Zach Wilson. Obviously, I mean, he's not like starting caliber QB, but
yeah,
they're going to be better than Tim Boyle and shit. The funny thing on this game, did you see, P, is there was a report that they wanted Zach Wilson to start again, and he was reluctant to go back. Like, he didn't want to.
I saw that. Yeah, I did see that. I didn't read too much into it, so I don't know what was going on there. But it's telling, and I'd land on the other side of kind of what you're saying. Honestly, I'm all about Texans here, and it's just because the Texans have proved to me they can score points. The Texans have an identity coming into this game, and the Jets just seem lost and they seem hopeless. I mean, you're asking a guy to play quarterback who started the season and now doesn't want to play quarterback, apparently. Like I said, I didn't read too far into that. I don't know if there's
it could be some fake news
to that, but I just know that if we've gotten those questions being raised about the Jets, then just give me the team that's been pretty consistent this season, and you know what you're getting. And we are in weather, though. Like I said, it really is going to be some high winds, and there's going to be a good chance it'll be rainy. So it might be a slop fest, which you would think favors New York, but I think Houston can get down and get the ball in the end zone at least once, if not twice, and that would be enough to seal the deal here.
Yeah, especially in my mind, I'm just jumping to those end of half scenarios, 2-minute offense type things. I just like see hurry up offense, Stroud rushing the ball down the field,
right?
Them making way like Zach Wilson doesn't. The only time he ever did that was when somehow I bet on that game to go to overtime between the Giants and the Jets.
Right. And against the Chiefs. He somehow did it against the Chiefs. Came out and played really well. That
We'll
was
get
weird.
to the Chiefs. I got speaking of that. Okay, but let's get enough about the Jets Texans. So you're leaning Texans spread here or money line?
Yeah, I think I would take Texans money line. I'm a little wary on getting them more than a field goal because I think this will be tight just
Yeah, it's
because of the weather. It's gonna
sloppy.
be tough to score points. So yeah, I'd take money line. I would probably land on Jets if I wanted to pick a spread.
And if the wind is going to be that like terrible and the quarterback's that
Mhm.
bad, it reminds me of a game where Buffalo played in some absolute terrible weather. You can just bet on like every wide receiver besides Garrett Wilson to take their under. It usually works
Love
out.
it.
Okay, off there we got the Vikings versus the Raiders. Heavyweight matchup of O'Connell versus Josh Dobbs. It's what the people want. It's what the people needed. What do you think about either of these QBs? I don't know.
Man, you really just summed it up there, didn't you? This game, I'm gonna tell you, there's one thing I want to look at.
Is it the
Is
Raiders?
Justin Jefferson coming back because he is probable? I think that matters. We haven't seen him play with Dobbs, and let's be fair, the other wide receivers on the Vikings aren't great. Um, I don't love a lot of the wide receivers that are on the Vikings besides the rookie, whose name is eluding me.
Yeah,
Addison.
Addison.
Jordan Addison, yeah, he's great. But obviously he's a rookie, and you're gonna have little rookie mistakes that we don't see on TV or that aren't talked about. I'm sure it makes things difficult hooking up with a quarterback that's brand new as well, being a rookie. But if Justin Jefferson's back, I'm really curious to see how that looks with them. I definitely am gonna land on the side of the Vikings here. 100%. Give me Vikings spread. Give me Vikings everything. I don't care. The Raiders are just no, I'm never gonna put money on the Raiders. If I'm putting money on the Raiders, then somebody needs to come get me and put me in a mental hospital.
The Raiders seem to be a different team though with this head
Mm,
coach and
you can take
in the
them.
heavyweight QB matchup. My play was the Raiders
Oh no!
plus
I'm calling
3
the doctor for you, V. We gotta
because
get you.
these teams are fucking fucked either way. You can throw this in the Bucks Falcons game, and there's a lot of things better to bet. Uh, three
The
unanswered.
Raiders.
This is a 3 unanswered scores type of game on your old
This is a
DraftKings.
not three scores kind of game.
I don't think these teams like to play much defense though. But if
I don't think they
we're
like to play much.
you're gonna make me pick a Vikings pick, I can find one I love here. It's
Okay.
over on Dobbs rushing at 24 and a
Yeah.
half.
He does like to get out of the
Very
pocket.
reasonable number. He struggled passing last game too, so maybe this time he doesn't see his first second read. He'll take off. But don't forget about T.J. Hawkinson either. By him and Dobbs had a pretty good connection. Yeah, Vikings
Mhm.
either way. I could see. I just like the +3 at home. I mean, because like you said, these teams they suck or what? I don't know. They're both in that boat.
They're
Okay,
both a letdown, is what they are.
they're both lucky we spent this much time talking about them.
True.
Okay, now one for a divisional matchup. Last time this game got pretty out of hand. This time I think it can get out of hand once again because what the Seahawks suck in, the 49ers are great at. So look at this graphic. I got you the 49ers full game -11. Give me the 49ers first half -6.5 and give me the 49ers second half -5.5. Actually, give me the 49ers alt -20. And if you really want some crazy, crazy value here, 49ers to win every quarter +650. I legit think these guys will win every quarter and handle. I mean, they handled the Seahawks in Seattle. I can't wait to see what they'll do to in San Francisco.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. I mean, I was on last week, Niners Eagles. I was talking about how healthy the Niners were. They had the extra rest. I was confident they would go into Philadelphia and they would win that game. I mean, this team that the 49ers have built is absolutely It's I almost want to say unstoppable. I mean, we know that's not
It's borderline.
reality in the NFL, but it's great. I mean, these 49ers have struck gold. They are running through the NFL. They're going to go straight to the Super Bowl. I don't know who can stop this team. With that being said, give me Seahawk money line.
Plus 450. Put 1,000 on that bitch, and then your negative sportsbook account, forget about it, because it's going right
Exactly.
back to the top.
Give me Seahawks money line and start talking to me about this Chiefs Bills game.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
Let me throw the 49ers graphic up there one more time, just for
Just
maybe
so we can
some
see the crossed
legit.
out Seahawks logo.
Oh, okay. Getting out of there. That was the last graphics. Last graphic I had until the teaser though, because
Go
we didn't
Hawks.
we didn't pay the graphics guy enough. He got a little lazy. I think he started wanting to smoke some weed after he made about 10 of them. But anyway,
You really know what this guy does.
yeah, it's like I'm inside his head. The Bills versus the fucking fraud Chiefs. We get a rematch of that crazy 13-second bullshit game in KC again. This is the type of game that even not as a fan, but just living somewhat near the area, like makes me want to drive out there and go to. So what do you think about the Bills Chiefs,
Oh,
B?
Bills Chiefs, man. I don't really think much. I think that I wish we were 2 years in the past when this game was happening again, because these teams
That's
are
no lie.
not who we thought they
That
were.
is the greatest take, probably, right? That's a great
Yeah,
take.
I'm not excited about this matchup because both of these teams have been kind of fraudulent this year. And watching this game, I'm gonna see Taylor Swift 17 times every hour, so I'm really gonna be let down by this. I'm sure America's gonna be let down by this because this will probably be marketed as game of the week.
Yeah, for
But as
sure.
far as the prediction goes,
This slate, this after
I mean it's
4
a
o'clock
good
slate's so
matchup
good.
because it's like one of those where I look at and I can't just pick instantly. So I mean that means it is a good matchup. It's just the reason it's good is
I will
not
counter
great.
on, we wish it was 3 years ago, but I would
Right.
say that right now these teams make the perfect matchup still, because
Correct.
they've both fallen off in the similar way that they
Right.
like still,
Equally.
yeah,
Like
they're just
no
equal.
one's fallen off more than the other. Like
Yeah.
they're in right now. This is the battle of who's fallen off more. Whoever loses this game is fallen off more than the other, and they both really need to get a win. I mean, I don't even know for record's sake or for playoff sake, but these teams need a win just to get some morale back. I mean, their season has not gone the way they expected, the way anybody expected. But with all the bullshit being said, honestly, just fucking give me Bills money line. I hate the Chiefs. I don't like them. They just can't. They seem like they can't get the job done, and when they do get the job done, it's just by enough. So give me the Bills and Josh Allen. He's probably gonna jump over a linebacker and flip 40 times into the end zone or something crazy. So he just has that it factor, and I don't know. I just like him.
I can say, I can get behind that. I'm saying Mahomes, like the it factor. Mahomes' it factor, if like you can rate it, quantify it, it seems like
Mhm.
it's down this year. I've watched
Yeah.
I've watched the Chiefs games, and this dude does not have the same touch on the
Mm-mm.
tricky passes, say fitting it over the second level in between the safety and the backer on just
Right.
like a perfect. I've seen him underthrow that ball at least 3 to 4 times this year, and it's just not that old. Oh, Magic
Right.
Mahomes, Collinsworth sucking
Throwing it
him off
behind
in
his
the booth.
back
Yeah,
with his eyes
throwing it.
closed.
It's it's
It's not
just
it.
even. I don't want to like get too in his body language this, but when I watch them, they just don't seem the
Mm-mm.
same. Like he's not like excited. They're not as pumped
Yeah.
up. The Chiefs just seem different. They're like down.
Yeah. I have a response to that. I honestly, my full hearted belief, I think it has something to do with the guys he's throwing to. He's lost names and he's lost people that when he was
Man,
doing all the crazy shit, he's lost some of those guys he was doing that shit with. And he hasn't built it doesn't feel like he's built that same chemistry. I mean, from game one, he's hitting guys in their hands and it's getting pick sixed. Like
yeah,
I think there's a level of trust that's been lost. I think there's a level of just chemistry and just as a team that mojo, that like knowing when he drops back that he can get in trouble and these guys will make a play for him if he makes a play for them. I don't think there's that that connection anymore. And so yeah, I think that's cause for the body language, and I think that's cause for a lot of the drop off of the big plays, because I don't know if he's taking as many risks, and when he does take risks, it seems like they're just not synced up, and then a ball floats to a defender for an easy pick. There's something going on between him and his receivers. He's only got Kelsey. That's what it feels like.
And I'd hate to say it too, but I mean, Kelsey's not getting any younger. I mean, he's in his 30s, and I thought there's been multiple times this year where he's just looked slower than.
Yeah.
Like he's looked bigger and slower than before. Like he'll always be there for, a 20-yard, 30-yard right in the middle of the field, but
unless you bet on it.
Yeah, unless you bet it. It was that game. It was that game. And when he played against the Jets, he just looked slow, the lack of explosive. But I mean, I guess that's the fucking turf's terrible there too. So
yeah,
but,
yeah, they're a different team. So I'm on Bills money line. That's my final pick. Lock her in.
It sucks because the Chiefs are at home, and that's one of the few places with a big, huge.
You're gonna hear that all day.
Maybe the greatest home field advantage in the NFL.
I've been there for it. It's unreal.
This is the type of game, once somebody scores, you take the other team's spread immediately to try to get it at +6 or +7. It's a live bet situation that you try to get a +6 number live. Also, I like under 48 just because this game will probably be, like you said, less good than expected.
Yeah, I'd give it like a 20 to 24 kind of thing. I'm looking at like 44, 45 on this one. Take away a field goal on what they've got.
Okay. Underrated matchup, though, out of that. And I think kind of the game I'm really excited about for some reason is this Broncos-Chargers game in LA. I don't know why, but I feel like Broncos-Chargers just ends up being a good matchup.
Are you trying to tell me that you think this Chargers game will be shockingly good?
I don't know. I might bolt up for it.
Just kick me off the show.
And just let me just get rid of your camera real quick. Okay, there he's gone, everybody.
Oh shit. What do you think? What do you got in this one, B?
For Chargers Broncos, I didn't have a graphic for this one, so I actually didn't dive too deep into the bets either. God, I cannot get back on that Broncos train after they ripped off 5 wins, but I cannot hop back on there. I think both defenses, well, Chargers defense sucks, we know. And if Sean Payton is willing to air the ball out, like, you remember when the Broncos played the Bears early and we put like $400 on it and we were sweating dick on the Broncos?
I was never sweating, to be fair, actually.
Honestly, yeah, that was the because
that was the biggest Bears letdown spot I've ever seen in my life.
I should have live bet more on the Broncos, and they're down to halftime.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Broncos. Oh, okay, but that game, Sean Payton wasn't willing to go to the pass right away. Russell Wilson was very efficient early, and you could see it. The stats showed it. The eye test showed it. All that, and he still went to the run game. Was too conservative. Now the Chargers don't care. They'll air it out. They'll go for it on 4th down sometimes. They're a little more conservative this year, but they're willing to do more of those things, especially with Justin Herbert. Pass it. Now, if the Broncos are willing to pass it, because the Chargers' only thing about their defense is Khalil Mack's all right, and their run defense is okay, but their pass defense is atrocious. So if they're willing to let Russell Wilson air it out, let Russ cook, if you will, I think the Broncos can get this. Okay. But if Sean Payton goes conservative, and I've seen them do this in New Orleans too with Drew Brees, when they didn't let him air it out soon enough, then the Chargers could get it ahead. That's kind of what I'm looking at.
I'm all over Chargers in this one.
Yeah,
and it's for the same reason we took Texans last week. We said if Stroud doesn't turn over the ball, because turnovers are how Broncos are winning games, those 5 games. We said if Stroud doesn't turn over the ball, the Texans will win this football game, and they did. Herbert has only thrown 6 picks all year. He's very good for protecting the football, and I just think he continues that.
What a stat.
At home against Denver, and Denver's not going to get those turnovers that they've been relying on to win games. I think we see them kind of fall back into a little bit of the rut that they were in at the beginning of the year, and they dropped this game.
I love that. Because then, like I said, I think Sean Payton, I've seen him do it. I've been watching my whole life, him in New Orleans. I think he might start off too conservative then. I would even be big here. Could this be our first half bet?
I would love this first half. I mean, and just to go a little further, Herbert's 20 touchdowns, 6 picks, and he's thrown 65% completion. Like, he's been a great quarterback with wide receivers not being healthy. Like, he's missing Mike Williams, and he's getting it done.
Still. How many clutch drops have we seen Quentin Johnson have?
Quentin McButters, bro. What are you talking about, man? This guy's dropped every pass that's ever been thrown to him. I thought he was a cornerback out there.
McBet my
wearing
under.
the wrong jersey. Yeah, for sure. And exactly, though, to your point, like his Herbert stats still look amazing. He's still getting the job done really well and protecting the football while doing it. So, yeah, I'm all over the Chargers in this one. Like I said, especially at home. I know home isn't a huge thing for them, but
you made
some
my
sort
mind
of comfort. Just hammering it, getting the credit card out.
Oh yeah, because I've just I mean, even Odd Shark sitting here looking at the simulation of the -2.5 spread, and they're like winning by 10. I'm like, I can see this formula, dude. And if they get too aggressive,
if you don't want to take
first half, yeah, I love we're loving first half. First half bets around here have been great this year, and that's the one I was feeling. So yeah, some of that, but I love the full game too. It's only 2. I mean, Chargers win this by a field goal. I think
they're getting. This is a reaction number to them scoring 6 against the Patriots.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't look great.
I think they'll bounce back too because of that.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence, what is on my mind? Herbert threw for 212 yards, and he threw 59% completion still. They just did not really score points. So, I mean, it wasn't even his lowest yards thrown of the season. It was just a weird.
Yeah, I think they had a couple holding penalties and things like that killed their drives as well.
I think it's an overreaction number for sure to what happened last week.
Okay, but going a little long here. We're having some fun today. This is a good episode.
We're really breaking these down.
Eagles versus Cowboys to finish the great. I mean, how can we not do a long episode? This slate is fantastic. Again, I won't say I love almost every game, and even the bad games are just pretty good because of the matchups.
Yeah, they're good, bad matchups.
That's kind of like what I said about tonight. If you remember that Panthers-Bears game, it was almost so bad it was good. That's how I feel about the Steelers-Patriots game that's probably kicked off by now. But, okay, Eagles-Cowboys, I think this is kind of a reactionary number. The Eagles were +3, unless people are just totally falling off them now. What do you think? Tell me your opinion about the Eagles and Cowboys.
So last week I told you the 49ers were my team to win against the Eagles, but it was really more so not as much that I thought the Eagles were worse than the 49ers. It's because it was really kind of a trap game for the Eagles. They were banged up. They had less rest. 49ers just got healthy, came off an easy game with extra days rest. Like, I don't necessarily feel that game was a representation of how good they are. I do 100% feel like this number is a reaction to them getting beat. I feel like getting beat at home by one of the better teams in the NFC, and then now you're going on the road to play what people consider to be one of the better teams in the NFC. I'm all over the 3.5. That's what I see on Odd Shark. On Odd Shark, sorry.
Yeah, that's what it is a lot. On
So
DraftKings.
I think if I got a 3.5, having them lose by a field goal, I genuinely feel like they could go into Dallas, win this game outright, and nobody will even be thinking about the San Francisco game. Like, it was just a bad spot for them. It genuinely was.
I mean, yeah, and if we want to talk of matchups, Cowboys got decimated by the same 49ers in the same way that the Eagles did. Yeah. Eagles have already 100%. Beat the Cowboys. They always play them pretty well. If you divisional, it's kind of like the Commanders Eagles. That was weirdly close. The Cowboys though did beat the shit out of the Commanders, so
yeah, that is true. But for this one, I just think if you fall on the wrong side, picking like who's gonna win, just give yourself those 3 points because it's
let's be honest though, tight. Right?
What you got?
unless you're a Cowboys fan, you don't enjoy betting on them. I mean,
True.
maybe on
Yeah,
Thanksgiving, but
definitely.
who the fuck
That's
likes
why
the I mean, we always unless you're a Cowboys fan, you go, they're not America's team. I mean, this ain't the fucking 1980s. Like,
I'm
unless you're
true.
50 years old listening to this, and then sorry, but fuck the Cowboys. I mean, Dak's MVP candidate right now, but yeah, dude, Eagles will just keep pace. They did in the first game. Uh, 51.5 is the total. Give me the motherfucking under, especially the second time divisional opponents are
True.
meeting.
Yeah, yeah, good point.
Eagles just made some signings for their linebacker core, which was the weakest part of their defense. Pass rush is good. Yeah, dude. Give me the under big time 51.5. That is crazy for NFL this season. Especially prime time. Oh, dude, I just realized it was a prime time game. Under, 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 under. Those always are
Oh
going
yeah,
under.
this is our Sunday nighter.
Thursdays haven't been great for
I,
unders, but
I
Sunday
can't
and
tell you.
Monday are like, ooh,
Just
autos.
saw. Don't know how much of a difference this makes. Goddard out of action for at least 4 weeks.
Ooh,
I didn't know that. I was just looking through to see.
maybe
So I mean,
he's
he's
been.
obviously a big weapon, but he hasn't been doing much
I
this
was like,
year. He
maybe
hasn't
he's
had his
been
big.
banged up.
Yeah, he hasn't been having his big games like he has in past seasons.
Uh, yeah, man, that's gonna be a great end to the Sunday slate on Little Eagles Cowboys.
Yeah,
I
Goddard has
mean,
2 touchdowns this season.
I honestly cannot wait. Oh man, he's been
Not
tough,
been great.
hurting. Then they should bring back. I know Ertz is like past his prime. They should just
Yeah,
bring him there for veteran minimum, just to like sit on the side or something.
yeah. Fuck, if they can do that, just bring back Terrell Owens.
Yeah, little T.O., little
Little
Zach
T-
Ertz, little Deshaun
Brian
Jackson,
Dawkins,
little
Randall
Dawkins
Randall
back.
Cunningham.
Oh, dude, if Hurts gets banged up, little Randall
Yeah, dude.
Cunningham is the same offense, dude.
Hell
Perfect.
yeah, man.
I'm sure you still got some in the legs.
Really?
Titans, Dolphins.
Wait,
I
do we have 2 Monday night games?
Yes, I was just thinking we needed
What
this
the hell?
last week again, and they
Okay.
blessed us.
Okay.
And it's
That's
because they're
what you
both
got.
kind of bad. We got the Dolphins
Bro,
blowing out the Titans
why
on
do
the
I
first
don't even
game.
know the number. Sorry to interrupt you. I don't even know the number. Why am I already creaming for Dolphins first half spread?
Dude, right now, yeah, I'm mad at myself that I haven't looked at Dolphins first half spread
I don't
because
you don't have to say the number. I creamed already. It's gone.
okay, tell us about this game a little bit, P, and then I'm gonna find
Okay.
us the number
Yeah, you
on.
pull that number up. This is a Dolphins Dolphins game. I mean, we love the Titans around here
Oh
when they're an
Jesus,
underdog, but we do not want them when they're an underdog on the road against Miami Dolphins on prime time. This is not a spot for the Titans to show out. This is a spot for the Titans to show us who they really are, which is a bottom of the barrel team with a rookie quarterback starting, with no identity, with no secondary, with a great coach. I'll give him that. But
but at home
it's just not.
they
It's not it.
struggle on the road.
Yeah. They have won all their games at home. They have, I think, maybe won one game on the road. And they're playing a good Dolphins team that can really just tear apart a secondary. And they're at the bottom of the league as far as secondaries go. So this is going to be a Dolphins murder in Miami. Calling it now.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It's kind of crazy that the spread's 13 here and Odd Sharks even predicted it to win when the NFL has provided big ass spreads. It's usually like you think, "Oh, no way they cover plus 13 or no way, yeah, like minus 13." But it seems to be kind of a low-key gift in the NFL. And if you want a comparison, it's that Giants Cowboys game when DeVito started his first or second time against the Cowboys, and it was a 16-point spread, and it it, it
By
was
40.
fucking close. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
They don't make spreads high enough for games like these. That's what he's trying to say.
yeah,
They just
Will,
don't. They're not going to make a spread minus 30, but that's what it should be.
because yeah, when you get over almost 2 touchdowns plus 13 plus 14, And with Vrabel, like you said, a good coach, people will start. You'll
Mhm.
get 50-50 action. Somebody out there
Oh
in the
yeah,
world
there's
thinks,
some pros that
"Oh,
are like Titans
Titans plus
spread,
13."
and they're putting 10 grand on it, and they're
And
keeping our number in a
and
good
I'll tell
spot.
you, it's the same people who thought the Dolphins wouldn't cover against the Commanders on the road.
Yep.
So bet the motherfucking Dolphins. They will cover that 13.
Bet the rent on the Dolphins minus, but just alt spread to minus 27.5.
What's odd shark have it at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14 points. So yeah, they got him by 1, almost 2 with the point 8. The first half spread numbers here are kind of funny. Dolphins minus 7.5 is
Oh,
yeah, it's not great. Plus
we like
102.
that touchdown.
But if you put it at minus 7 alt, it drops to minus 121.
Yeah,
So
that's
they
almost
Vegas
not worth.
definitely knows. It's like,
Yeah, they've seen this story before.
because with NFL defenses, like especially in prime time, they usually play a good hard first half, and if the offense isn't good, like the Titans, they'll tire out, and then that's when they can get exposed in the second half. But the Dolphins second half minus 6.5, not a bad bet there. Usually not a second half better, just because
Yeah,
you never know. But that's not a terrible bet in prime
yeah,
time.
burning up the clock and things like that. Get
Yeah,
in there, it can get messy.
the
Putting in
Dolphins.
backups is a reality for this game too. Like,
Well, Derrick Henry got banged up though. What's his injury kind of like?
oh, let me look and see.
Because I'm kind of discounting the Titans' run game. The Dolphins' pass defense is pretty solid. They got Jalen Ramsey, some other good corners, pretty good safety. They lost Jalen Phillips, but it's almost like they're better when they have Andrew Van Ginkel down in the defensive end position. Guy rushes the passer crazy. You could probably get a pretty good value here if your book offers sacks on Andrew Van Ginkel over 0.75. I mean, this is a Monday game. I'm sure that line's not out yet, but I'd be looking at that just based on anytime Jalen Phillips has been out for the Dolphins, Andrew Van Ginkel's stepped in and got a pretty big pass rush. Any update on Henry?
Yeah, so Henry's probable for Monday. It says he, left last game with a head injury, but it's anticipated that he will be active. So
Okay,
I don't
so
think they have him active with a head injury unless he's 100%.
yeah, no, if it was concussion protocol or something, he should be
Yeah,
good
it's not
by.
like a banged up knee that's going to be hurting him through the game or something. It's they're either he's going to be good or he's not going to play. But
Yeah,
it sounds like he's on track to be good.
Dolphins, Dolphins, Dolphins though.
Yeah, Dolphins for sure. Yeah, suck them off.
Packers,
All right,
Giants.
on
They
to the
had
next
to
one.
they had to throw this another game on here because the Dolphins are going to win by 40. So we have the Packers, Giants on the other channel. You got DeVito's still starting. Tyrod Taylor's back from IR. Plus 6.5 is yeah. I'm gonna be on the Giants here.
Yeah, the Packers are just banged up. Watson questionable, Aaron Jones questionable, Jazeer Alexander questionable. They lost Musgrave, one of their tight ends that had been doing real good for him. They're banged up. And honestly, DeVito's come out and he's looked very good. I mean, I would say he's a game management type. He can keep
Jets
him
might
from
want him.
losing the game. Yeah, Jets might want him. I mean, shit, the Jets might need Randall Cunningham as we talked about earlier. Um, but yeah, the Green Bay's just banged up. They're coming off a big win. I think this is a letdown spot in New York, coming to
Yeah.
MetLife. You got Jordan Love playing in New York on the road. It's gonna be
Ooh, get a little
chilly. We're gonna
nervous.
have some 15-mile-an-hour winds. It looks like.
And you know what's
So
big is Aaron Jones is out, right?
it shows him as questionable.
Questionable. Okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't
Jones, Alexander, and Watson are all questionable, but like those are main pieces to the team, all three of them. So, and they're significant injuries. I mean, Aaron Jones is a running back, and he's questionable with a knee. Watson's questionable with a hamstring, and Jair Alexander, who makes tackles, is questionable with a shoulder. Like it's all the worst body parts for each position. Honestly,
all
not great.
right.
Not
So
great.
because of all that, I'm expecting definitely a close little
Hmm.
tough matchup. My prime time, like we said, in December. It's gonna be cold. Points are gonna be tough to come by. Over under
Yep.
set at 30. If you're almost giving me a touchdown with the Giants at +6.5, I mean, shit, buy it up a half a point at that if you want. Give
This
me,
wouldn't surprise me if the Giants win outright. So yeah, +6.5. It's great.
yeah, yeah, like I like that. I would, in my mind, I was almost thinking of like maybe I could get a Giants first half bet. Maybe they start hot, but last week I said that with the Packers because they always had first half struggles, and it kind of reversed. Packers had a decent first half last week. Chiefs were just bad all around.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Good
Yep.
slate though. It's a good week.
Yeah,
I'm
leaning
excited.
Giants right there. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Cross the
Let you
hour
know.
mark. Pretty much just got all the games done. Nothing else to say. How about it?
No, it was a good week. It will be a good week
All right, this is my favorite episode so far. Uh, Favorite week so far. Week 14 is
Yeah.
gonna be great.
for sure. Get your game pulled up. Thursday night games going, and pour yourself a little vodka and Milkington and enjoy that Thursday night football, yo.
All right, Hoagie P. Catch you next week.
Peace out.